Hi, everyone. Happy Tuesday. This is Christy with Time to Profit. If you don't know me, I help small business owners to really strategize around sales so that they can supercharge their sales without kind of all that weirdness and all that stress that comes around the sales process. So I really focus on some key areas of the sales process. The first is really segmenting your prospects, handpicking the people you want to work with, and then creating a plan to reach those people, making sure you have a wow-worthy key messages, and then probably most important, helping you get comfortable asking your prospects to actually work with you. So today, specifically, I want to talk a little bit about, I call it phraseology, but it's only a little kind of hint of what I'm actually talking about. So I don't know about you, but I have heard this data forever that talks about how much of our communication is nonverbal. And the fact is, right, what research shows is that what we receive in terms of communication is 93% nonverbal, meaning that how we receive something and our willingness to listen is really based on tone of voice, hand gestures, right, first impressions, all of these things that aren't really about the words that we're saying. And that can be frustrating because how do you change that? How do you change the nonverbals? And really what I want you guys to think about is not just how do you change the nonverbals, but what is it that you really want your nonverbals to communicate? So the first step of this is to really think about when you're having a conversation with somebody, what's the tone? What's the environment that you're wanting to create? Now, when it comes to sales, I have found that for me, the most important thing to focus on in terms of the intention and the tone I want to create for a sales is one of engagement, right? It's a conversation. It's not a presentation. The second one is safety, that they feel safe being honest and disclosing information that they don't feel like I'm going to try and manipulate and use against them. And the third thing is trust, that they can trust me that what I'm saying is honest and true, right? And that I'm hearing them. So that's really the frame I want you to think about this around is really those are the three things that are going to be the goal of how we're communicating. And so once we know what the intention is and the tone we want to create, we can start to think a little bit about how do we create that. So now all of a sudden, right, we have a much more specific problem to solve. How do I use nonverbal communication to create an atmosphere of trust, to create an atmosphere of engagement, and to create an atmosphere of safety when I'm having a conversation with my prospects? So one of the key ways is pretty simple, right? Listening, right? When we feel heard, when we feel like we truly are having a chance to speak and being listened to, that creates a sense of safety for us. It builds trust and we're more likely to engage. So that's really a specific thing, pausing, listening. And I want to give you guys some phrases that you can use that help signal that. So we're going to match our nonverbals with our verbals, and there's 4 key phrases that I want you to focus on. There's more that I use depending on where you're at in the sale, but when we're talking about really that true intention and setting that tone, these are the ones that make the biggest impact. So the first one is tell me more, right? So they're telling you something, tell me more, right? The floor is yours. I'm here to listen. Say more about that. And that is really important because there's a tendency in sales that when somebody pauses, we want to jump right in and share and give them information. But when we say something like, tell me more, we really signal to our prospects that actually we're really interested in listening to them. So moving over here, because I feel like the light, oh, no, this way. The lighting's better over here, right? Okay. Clearly, this is not my area of expertise. So after that, so tell me more, that's the first one. The second one that I want you to focus on is repeat back to them what they've said. So say that you are, I'm trying to think of an example, an insurance agent, right? And someone says, yeah, really for me, I just want to make sure that I have what I need to have legally covered and it costs me the least amount of money as possible. I want to make sure I'm not getting ripped off. Okay, so what I hear you saying is that you want to make sure you're getting a good bang for your buck and that you're getting a good value and that you're not being taken advantage of. did I get that right? Or tell me where I'm wrong. Either one of those, but you want to just basically give them a chance to rephrase what they've said. You've heard them, and then let them say yes or no, that's not really what I meant, right? So that just makes sure we're on the same page, and that creates so much safety and sets a much more conversational tone. And then the next phrase I want you to use is like you said. So sometimes they're going to say things that you're like, yes, this is what I'm trying to communicate, right? We're on the same page. This is going to help you get what you want. And so really using that phrase, like you said, right? So it's them, they're reinforcing, yeah, I did say that. That was coming from me, not from you. And then the fourth phrase that I want you to use is a little bit different. It happens more kind of as you're doing a presentation, but what that means for you is, or how this is going to help you is. So a lot of times we talk about our service, we talk about our products, and we say all the cool things about it, but we don't translate into what that means for you. And you can put some of these together, right? So on that insurance example, you might say, you know, one of the things that I'm going to do is shop the market with you. We have some great programs specifically designed for teachers. What that means for you is you can rest assured that you are going to be getting the biggest bang for your buck. And like you said, making sure that you don't get ripped off or taken advantage of is important, and I can help you with that, right? So see how these phrases really help reinforce those nonverbals, the pausing, the listening, and then we reinforce that through our language. So what I want you to do is I want you to just pick one of these phrases that maybe you're not using, but that you think would be helpful. And then I want you to practice it this week. Practice it in conversations you have. Be intentional. Okay, where am I going to use this phrase? How can I use this phrase? How can I use this phrase? Tell me more. Where might I use like you said, right? So think about what is the phrase that's really resonating with you. Pick one, start with one, and then start using it in those sales conversations. So what I want you to do is pick your phrase and then come back and share in the comments how it went. What went well, what you noticed. And there's another thing that I want to say on this. First is if you feel like those nonverbals, you're so nervous that you're struggling with that, go back to the video on thinking like a sales ace and mindset tools for sales, because that will help you kind of set yourself up for success from that mindset standpoint. And then if you want more tools to help you grow your attitude and your aptitude around sales so that you can multiply your sales in your business and make the process rewarding for both you and your prospects, go to mytimetoprofit.com. Again, that's mytimetoprofit.com, and there's some great free resources on you. Right on the homepage, there is a sales checklist and a sales planning tool that you can download and use. Check those out, and then I will see you guys again next week. Have a great one.